myself.
It is interesting he plays, what is this? Who is this?
It's Kendrick Lamar.
I love myself.
It's a great song. It's my favorite song right now.
It's my daughter's favorite song, too. It's on the same level.
It's the same.
On the same wavelength as your. How old is your daughter?
She's 9.
Your 9-year-old daughter has the same taste in music as me.
You remind me of a 9-year-old girl, actually.
Cut me real deep, Shrek.
Cut me real. You use that with your kids? Cut
All
me real
the
deep,
time.
Shrek.
Welcome to the Desmond Mason
right.
Hour,
That's
brought
how
to you
we
by
started.
Urban Johnny.
My daddy.
We give you a 9-year-old reference, Shrek reference, all in the first 10 seconds with Desmond Mason. All right, Des has not heard what Kevin Durant said yesterday. He opened up, Des. I mean, this is, I would venture to say you probably won't get this much more open. It's not like he sat on a couch or anything, but, this is probably as open as he will get, in my opinion, to the media. Todd, I don't know, you've been around him a whole lot longer than I have. Would you assume that this is as open as he's ever been?
I mean, it's up there.
Up there?
He's always respectful, but he's never really opened up a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but he's never been. I wouldn't say. Again, like I wasn't disrespected by it, but he's never had the tone that he had last weekend before.
Right. Okay, so here's Skip Bayless first, because I have to play this for context, because he mentions this. Kevin mentions this in his diatribe. But Skip Bayless, after All-Star Weekend, was saying that Durant kind of bites the hand that feeds him. Here's that.
When I'd often said on this show that I criticized Russell Westbrook for taking too many shots that my guy, Kevin Durant, should be taking, and then Kevin blasted me for blasting his teammate Russell. And I guess I get, well, he's defending his teammate, but it's at the expense of the guy who said for years, favorite player, and all the way back to his freshman year at Texas, I predicted that he would win multiple NBA scoring titles. So it felt to me like he's biting one hand that feeds him.
Man,
I love that reaction from you. All right,
I
so
guess I don't
that.
understand how just saying something good about
Well, it's all
somebody
about
is
him.
feeding them.
It's all about him.
Yeah.
So here's Kevin Durant. Okay, now this is after a handful of minutes of him talking. They're asking him very mellow, X's and O's. What do you think about
They're
Dallas?
lobbing softballs at him. Let's just call it what it is.
But finally Kevin goes, hey, look, I know y'all got more. Ask. And so this is how that went. You might not be able to hear the questions, but you will get it from what Kevin Durant says. So here's Kevin Durant opening up to the media.
Do I resent the organization?
Let me set that up real quick. He's asked in the GQ article, I don't know if you saw that yet.
I hadn't read it yet, no.
In the GQ story, he talks about how this team, I'm not saying this verbatim, but isn't as good since James Harden left. Okay? They asked him if he resents the organization for that.
Do I resent the organization? Nah, hell, nah. I'm trying to stop using foul language. Nah, not at all, man. Because let's look at it this way: we won 60 games a year. He was gone. We won 59 next year. We got a few injuries. You never know what would happen if that didn't happen. So, not at all. And plus, they signed me to a max deal.
So many people on the outside looking in, Kevin, say that might be a factor in your decision next summer.
What?
The fact that they traded James, talent hasn't been the same as it's been in the past. You guys haven't been back to the finals since. What impact does that decision from 2012 make?
None.
Have on your decision?
None. We're still a good team. I mean, we're still a good team. Let's be real now. Like this year, we would be up there if we didn't have injuries. If I wasn't out as many games, Russ wasn't out, we would be up there. So don't act like we just, we're a bad team. Like we got worse. No, I mean we had injuries, and that's a part of the game. We understand. We're not crying about it, but that's what happened. And we lost Russ in one playoffs. We lost Serge for a playoff series. So that stuff like that happens. But I mean, it's not just saying that all because we lost James. We not being make it to the finals. Everybody's gonna nitpick, especially with the time winding down with that stuff, and the summer coming up with me and all that, but that has no. I love where I'm at right now. I'm just trying to focus on that every single day.
How you feeling so far?
The Skip Bayless thing, that just rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm going to speak from a player side of things. Him and Stephen A. Smith are just pure controversy. That's all they are. These are guys that just regurgitate what they hear, throw out a crap load of opinions that are half valid, half fact, half made up. It's just like they're kind of all over the place. I don't watch them. I don't like listening to the way that they respond to not just really all sports. Just the way that they function and being on the media side of things. And again, I've always respected the media, and I've always been, very cordial with the media. But being on the media side, I can see the media side of the frustration. And as we talked about last segment, just getting tired of hearing the same questions over and over and over again. But I think there has to be a respect, and I think those guys have no respect. And for him to say Kevin bites the hand that feeds him, at what point in time does Skip Bayless ever feed Kevin Durant? Anything. It's actually the other way around, because a guy like Kevin Durant gives him something to talk about, gives him a guy to talk about. He's the second best basketball player in the world, and he's been an idea player for a role model. He's done it the right way. He's respected everyone. So for him to come out and say that, that's just, it's a selfish statement. It's about him. But when it's all said and done, I could have not heard that statement, and I still don't like Skip Bayless because I just don't like the way that they function. So I got that out of the way, and I'm glad I did. Resenting the organization, I just think that's a silly question for someone to ask him. He's been very loyal to Oklahoma City. Kevin has been very outspoken about where he wants to be and what he wants to be, and he's been engaged in this community. And I think people read into things when you see Jay-Z coming to pitch and all these big international deals and all this hoopla and this talk about LeBron going back to Cleveland, where Kevin may go back to Washington. If it's going to happen, it's going to happen. But if he's not speaking on it, then I don't think no one else should. It's just a lot of speculation right now. But for someone to even ask him, does he resent the organization for the James Harden move or anything else, I just think that's a silly question.
Real quick, just as it pertains to the deal, I don't think I've ever asked you this. If you were him in his situation where you're going to get a max deal wherever you go.
Yeah.
A year and a half out, would you have your mind made up?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
I think it's going to depend on the next year.
Here's more of it. This is Darnell Mayberry saying he heard a comment on the radio, and you might not hear it, which is why I'm kind of saying what he asked, that he heard a comment on the radio coming in to practice yesterday. Someone said it sounds like they're that he is positioning himself to let people down in 2016 by the comments he made over the weekend and in the GQ article. And Darnell asked, how do you explain the shift in your attitude and comments? So, there you go.
It looks like I actually heard a comment on the radio coming in here that someone said it sounds like you're positioning yourself to let people down in 2016 by the comments that you've made the past weekend, the GQ article. How do you explain the shift in your attitude, your comments, things like that?
That's what I was talking about. Because people won't believe that just because one person said that. They haven't even talked to me. They don't know what I'm thinking. They don't know none of that. So, obviously I can't defend myself when, a bunch of people are going to write something that is not true. So, that's what I was talking about. But my man Matty, I'm going to leave that alone. But, how can you say something like that on the radio without even talking to me? I know that's your job, but you can't just say that if you don't know me at all. You don't know what I'm thinking. You don't know my family, my friends, none of that. So that's just stirring up the pot.
And just how do you explain the shift in your comments lately? We've sort of gotten to know you a certain way for the first 7 years, and then this year you've been edgier, you've been more outspoken. How do you explain that shift?
Man, let's be real. Let's look at the whole thing. I've been in the league 8 years. We all had a good media and myself. We had a great relationship for 8 years. And I said something for two days in a row. I said something, and am I allowed to be upset one time? Am I allowed to, be mad? Am I human? Do you look at me that way? Do you look at me as if I can't say nothing wrong, or we had great communication for 8 years. It's still that way, but I had a moment, and everybody in life has moments. You had one, I'm sure, before, but it's not broadcasted like mine. So, I wasn't really upset. I was more so trying to take up for, my teammates, my coach, and other guys in the league that, get scrutinized with that I don't like, and maybe I should have shut up about it, but, I had one moment. I was just, what made me mad more than anything is that, I was told I bite the hand that feed me, so I don't know what that means. I really don't know what that means. I wish somebody would explain it to me. But I don't remember none of you guys being there when I was 8 years old and I was putting in that work, or you're not there at nights when I'm in here putting that work in. So I don't understand what that one means, but hey, I got to roll with it. That's a part of it. I was told that I shouldn't cry because everybody been through it, so I'm gonna shut up.
I think I heard a DG chuckle in the background too. I don't know if you guys caught that.
Desmond, during that clip, his ears perked up, and I know he wants to say something.
I'm looking at the TV right now, and lo and behold, Skip Bayless is on TV right now talking about Kevin Durant. And again, that just frustrates me. I said the last segment about the statements that Kevin made in the interview. He was frustrated. He was getting tired of answering the same questions over and over and over again, and he just said it. He had a moment where he was upset, and he sees how this happens on a regular basis. And again, in this moment, I'm speaking as a player. I'm speaking on behalf of players. Is statements like that rub you the wrong way. I've had them. I've had people come to me with them. I've just, you kind of smile it off and you move on. I never really got upset with the media in my playing days at any point in time, but I can see where it comes from when you have people that have never done it, that haven't put the time in. They don't do they weren't throwing up when you working out, 5 a.m. and catching an elbow in the face and laying with ice on your knees every day. And, they weren't doing that, but they can get up with a pen and a pad and judge you, and criticize, your thought process, your determination. It's glamorous on the outside, man, but it's a hard life. It's a hard way to live. It's a hard thing to deal with. You're away from your family. You have to put in a lot of work. If you want to be good, it takes a lot of time. And so when people have the audacity to just kind of lash out and use your situation, maybe your anger, your frustration, and use it for their benefit, it's really frustrating. And so you can see that that's what's happening with Kevin. He's getting frustrated. He's been asked the same questions over and over. People are attacking his teammates and attacking him. And you have someone, again, that has the audacity to say, bite the hand that feed him. Yeah, exactly what Kevin said. He wasn't there when he was young, in the streets, trying to play ball, but trying to live, trying to survive in a single-parent home. And then in Texas, going out, working hard, getting it done, and then the NBA time. I mean, that kid is in the gym at 2 a.m. still today, and he's the second best player in the world. It's frustrating. I'm frustrated for him. It's frustrating.
I can tell.
It's frustrating.
Now what I'm going to tell you what I'm mad about from a media standpoint, all right? And I want to see if you can relate to this at all. I am the whole reason that I've been upset about this is that I thought that it got too much attention to begin with, and and I'm part of it. I mean, I'm mad at the attention it's bringing, and I'm a hypocrite because what do I do? I bring more attention to it. So I'm as guilty as anybody in that regard. But he comes back today or yesterday and says, after everybody reacts to what he said, he reacts, then everybody, the media reacts, and now he reacts to the media's reaction. That's what he did yesterday. Is he's reacting to the media's reaction, and his reaction there, you heard it at the end, is well, maybe I'll just shut up. I shouldn't cry. Maybe I should just shut up. And that's what upsets me. Like, we ask, and I think maybe I told you this on Tuesday when you were in. We crave for these guys to be real. And be real sometimes means you might have a bad day. It's all right, dude. Yeah. And now we're at the point now where it's like, well, yeah, okay, you can be real, but if you're having a bad day, well, we're just gonna crush you for being real and having a bad day. And now he won't do it anymore. And that's what makes me mad. I want these guys to be real, and I want them to have bad days. It's endearing, for crying out loud. Have a bad day, but let's not I hate that some media, and it's in the minority, but it's a loud minority. It's usually the national minority. The national media. They crush him for saying what's on his mind on a bad day, and now his reaction to their reaction is, I'll just go back and shut down and get back into my old PR mode where I don't say anything.
Absolutely.
And that upsets me.
Yeah, and again, if he has a bad day, if he lashes out, if he says some things that's a little bit out of character for Kevin Durant, now being on the media side of it and having been a player, I think there's a way that you handle it as media. I think you can shine light on the statements that were made. I think you can ask the questions. The questions can be speculated and thrown out, but I don't think you can judge them. And I think right now, people are using this opportunity for their benefit, and they're judging, and they can be opinionated, but they're just blatantly judging, and then starting to create these scenarios and these situations. Is it Oklahoma City? Is he going to be in Oklahoma City? Blah 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 blah. Right. And that's what's happening, as opposed to hey, he's been injured. Team's not playing as well as they used to. Now they're digging back into James Harden trades, and I mean, it becomes this whole storm of things that makes him more and more frustrated. To me, that's first and foremost. And second, you don't want him shutting down. We all can be politically correct and say all the right things. I mean, we're geared that way. We know how to keep ourselves out of trouble, at least the majority. And if you want to get the real answers from Kevin Durant, you got to allow him to be Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
If you want the fake ones, watch what happens.
Oh, he'll be back. Like, he's back to folding down. Yeah.
It's all going to be politically correct and very smooth, and you won't get anything from him anymore.
And then the media will be mad because he's not opening up again.
Exactly.
And that's what's going to happen.
And
that's
that'll be
what's
another
upset
story.
me.
And that'll be another story.
Go ahead, Tom.
I know you've said before, Desmond, that there have been certain media members. In fact, I think you said you had a tiff with Darnell Mayberry once, right?
Well, Darnell had a tiff with the Hornets team.
Okay.
And absolutely.
Was that something that you would bring up in a pool? I mean, is that something that you tried to get with Darnell and say, hey, I got a problem with this? Have you seen that happen before in a locker room where a player pulled aside a reporter and said, listen, you're taking something out of context. You need to stop with that stuff.
I'm talking about instead of saying
instead of getting upset in a pool of reports. Is that the better way to handle it, I'm asking, I guess?
I mean, it's a bit, again, like if we can play take the high road, and that'll be taking the high road. To pull a guy to the side and say, hey, look, man, I read what you said. It was a little bit disrespectful. That is not exactly what I said, and it. Blah, whatever the case may be. You can go to the guy like that. But to me, the writer, they know what they're writing when they write. If you knew a guy didn't, you can always read into what players are thinking. You can read what people are thinking. Don't take it and twist it because it's more juicy, and write it. You know that when you did it. So then I have to come back and be the nice guy and pull you to the side after you wrote something that you shouldn't have wrote in the first place. So it's a responsibility on both sides. The players have a responsibility to answer the questions that they're being asked, but the media side of it has a responsibility to relay that information to the public in a respectful manner. And I think that's where the issues happen, is that once they get the information, or whatever information when it gets to the general public, how is it portrayed in paper or TV or whatever the case may be?
How about this then? Has a reporter or a beat writer or anyone ever come to you and said, hey, I'm sorry, that was unfair what I wrote?
Absolutely. Yeah. But
after you approached them?
No, they came on their own. Because they knew I was frustrated. They knew it was wrong. And it was just, and most of the time our PR would go to
that's how that kind of starts. Right?
Our team PR would go and say, hey, what was that all about? And, they'll come back and say, hey, listen, I talked to Sherry, let's just say Sherry, because she was in Milwaukee. I talked to Sherry, and, I don't know if you read what I wrote, but, it was, I was a little disrespectful, or it was a little bad, or, I could have did it a little bit different. And, it only happened a couple times in my career, but I was just kind of like, all right, it's all good. No, it's cool. Not a big deal. But that's kind of hindsight. It's over now. It's out in the media. You can't go back and redo it.
Yeah.
You're not going to recant it because that looks...
What's done is done.
Exactly. And that looks like, well, they must have said something to him. Now he got to go back and fix his story. It's too late.
This is all fascinating to me. I mean, the whole thing, which is why we have you on. So you predict then that Kevin will be back to, just plain old Kevin.
I think this, like I said, a week
Vanilla
or so,
Kevin.
This will all blow over, and you will get.
Yeah, but then what?
You will get the generic interviews that you got. You won't see him. His PR people, and I'll tell you, this is my take on it. In a couple of veins, and I'm just speculating. This is not, I have no information on this, but I'm speculating. The article that was written when it said Mr. Unreliable, Kevin on the front page, ridiculous. Especially here locally, a ridiculous article to write. That should have never hit the paper. That was just ridiculous to do. Things like that.
The headline.
The headline, yes, Mr. Unreliable in his big photo. But things like that, things like, some kind of the ongoing questions that become, move on to something different. The ongoing questions that he constantly gets, this kind of scrutiny when he opens up, these type of things will make a player think, it's just really a good situation for me. We're not winning. We're injured. That. Are they building to win a championship? All these things. The media is now starting to scrutinize, not just the national media. Now my local media is getting after me. Like, is this a good situation, or do I need a fresh start? And believe me, all of his people are in his ear saying the exact same thing. Like, this may be the end of the road. Things are getting a little rocky. It may be time for a fresh start, where you can go somewhere and the excitement is about you going there as opposed to what's happened the last couple of years. Like, that's what you don't want to happen. This is home for him. When we talk about biting the hand that feeds you, this is home for him. If Kevin Durant is not in Oklahoma City, there's a lot of players that's not in Oklahoma City. It's a domino effect. So you don't want him leaving here, because if he leaves, then eventually Russell's gone. And if Russell's gone, eventually Serge is gone. It's a domino effect. And then how do you get players to come play? Look at Cleveland when LeBron left. They sucked. That's why they got Kyrie Irving. And LeBron comes back, and now Kevin Love wants to come back, and all these guys want to now go play for Cleveland. You got to have him here.
Let me ask you this: did you have a problem? I don't think I ever asked you this, just because the timing was wrong, I guess. But did you ever have a problem with the apology that the Oklahoman wrote? Did you have a problem with them coming out and going, "All right, we screwed that up. We're sorry," publicly? Were you cool with that?
Listen, man, I can appreciate apologies, and I can say thank you, but it should have never happened. Should have never happened. There's not one person that can look at that. You can get a person in the corner of Oklahoma on the panhandle and that knows a little bit about Kevin Durant and say, look, we're going to write this story and this is what it's going to look like. It hasn't hit the press yet, but we're going to write it. Do you think this is okay? They're going to say, how is Kevin Durant unreliable? It should have never happened. And so my frustration is that it actually happened. It should have not happened. And I'm not defending Kevin as a player. I'm looking at what he's done for Oklahoma City. And the type of guy and the way he's carried himself.
Yeah, I hate to go back, by the way, to the headline and all that stuff. I mean,
I don't. It's wrong. I'm telling you, it is wrong. If you think it's not in the back of his mind, you're crazy.
I think that's my point on all this.
Forget about it.
Is to this is all a catalog in his mind, right? Like
every single thing. And to me, that is what again, he's going to make the decision he wants.
What are you telling me to do here, Todd? Sorry. Oh, okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Des.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying he's going to do whatever he wants, but at the end of the day, you got to understand who he is and what he's brought to this city, and the media is going to be the media. Oklahoma can't control the national media. They're their own animal, but you can appreciate, respect your players, and you have the right to ask them the hard questions. But scrutiny is the thing that they don't like.
I feel like we're very serious today.
We are serious. What else is serious?
It's a good topic.
I'm totally speaking as a player right now.
Look, Des, I enjoy this thoroughly. Like,
Yeah.
I hope you do too. Like, I hope you're engaged.
I'm speaking as a player.
It sounds like you're engaged. Because we like to screw around, but this might end up being just one of those days where it is hardcore basketball, maybe for the entire hour, but But you are going to paint. I'm going to make sure.
I'm
going
to probably end up painting a basketball and like.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like every day is going to
paint like a newspaper headline.
I'm going to rip off. I got to pull off my jeans and have like my game uniform on. It's like,
all right, so here's what we got to do next segment. We got, it's trade deadline day. So we got trades. Okay, so we're going to talk about that, and if it's still evergreen, which I don't know if it is or not. Reggie talked yesterday, and you want to talk about awkward, dude. Kevin Durant, to me, I thought Reggie Jackson upstaged him yesterday, to be completely honest with you. But anyway, we'll play that sound, and it sounds like trade talks are heating up here in Oklahoma City. We'll tell you what's up next. What's your 9-year-old daughter feel about this song?
Man,
right here?
she loves this song every morning before school. You like the song too? I know
Yeah,
Todd likes the song.
Of course. He's like a 9-year-old girl. Right? You do love his song.
Oh yeah, Meghan Trainor's coming up next too.
The Cup song. He got the Cup song too in heavy rotation.
Oh yeah, the Cup song. I learned about the
Remember
Cup
we
song.
talked about that,
Thanks
and
to
of course
yeah.
I knew what it was. You
Exactly.
didn't.
I didn't. You're 9 years old.
And my daughter likes that one as well.
All right. You ready for some nuggets? Let's have some nuggets.
Let's do it.
You mean Aaron Aflalo?
No.
Oh,
no,
you mean nuggets of
not
information.
Denver Nuggets.
Gotcha.
No. This is from Adrian Wojnarowski. The Brooklyn Nets and Oklahoma City are in serious talks on a deal for Brook Lopez, with a key component centering on the Nets' ability to persuade Thunder guard Reggie Jackson to make a long-term commitment to the franchise. League sources told Yahoo Sports. The Nets and Thunder are discussing a deal that would include center Kendrick Perkins, forward Perry Jones, and Jackson joining the Nets. But Brooklyn is working to gauge the enthusiasm of Jackson about coming to Brooklyn. League sources told Yahoo Sports. There are several more moving parts in the next Thunder trade talks. Minnesota and Philadelphia are part of a broader possible deal. The Nets are trying to persuade Kevin Garnett to accept a deal to the Timberwolves, bringing them back Thaddeus Young. The Sixers have interest in acquiring Chase Budinger from Minnesota for draft considerations. The Sixers would then buy out Budinger's deal and allow him to become a free agent. The Nets are prepared to move guard Jarrett Jack in a deal, clearing the way for Jackson. Okay, so it's a jumbled mess.
That's a lot.
Darren Williams would continue to be used in a reserve role for the Nets if Reggie Jackson came.
Darren Williams reserved.
Darren Williams
with that money on the book. That's
Speaking
Well, Darren Williams doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to accept that role kindly.
he accepted $130 million or whatever it was. I'm sure he's okay.
You better sit down. Yeah.
I'm sure he's
Speaking
okay.
of Nuggets, Adrian Wojnarowski also now reporting
We
that
got
Denver
more.
has traded Aaron Aflalo to Portland.
For
Doesn't have who
Doesn't
they're
have it
getting
yet.
back for him yet. Just that Denver has sent Aflalo.
Here
to
we
Portland.
go, baby. We got
This
come
is
on,
it.
fire
Starting
up.
to get good.
We got
bring it back.
5-star giving you all that stuff.
Oh, that's
5-star
right.
the,
5-star the trade deadline, Cal.
trade deadline Cal
Has
Are you
been on
familiar
top
with
of things.
5-star?
Oh no, this is
5-star
bringing back bad memories. On
The trade 5-star the trade deadline Cal always gives us our recruiting news and our trade deadline news.
So anytime you hear 5-star, that means a trade has happened. And we'll have it here first.
We're back to laughing.
According to Adrian Wojnarowski, the Blazers will send Will Barton, Victor Claver, a future lottery-protected first-round pick, and a second-round pick to Denver for Aflalo and Alonzo G, no relation to Eric G.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I would sure hope so.
For Alonzo G's sake, right?
That cow.
That's right. You like 5-star?
This coming to you from 5-star, the trade deadline Cal.
That was basically because we're not. It all happened on the on signing day, National Signing Day for football, which happened last week. And
That's how he got the name 5-star.
Yeah, 5-star, and we're just like, I mean, you remember the old.
I think it's genius.
I mean, we can't. I'm not a recruiting guy. I'm just like, I'm really like. We're already trafficking on 19-year-olds. I think I draw the line at 17. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm just like, we'll let 5-star the Cal get it. Bob wants to know something. What do the Thunder do for a backup point guard if they get Lopez?
I mean, they got to have. I must make the assumption that they're going to look and see what is out on the free agent market, possibly, or if they can structure a deal that'll get them someone that they feel comfortable with playing that backup role. That's pretty much the option they have. They got to have one.
Wouldn't Waiters
for sure.
be that guy or no?
Ish Smith?
I mean, they can probably patchwork it together. I mean, and then they're not going to get anybody spectacular.
Right.
It's just not going to happen. But
wait, my point is, Waiters at the point would be better than anything on the free agent market, right? Or no?
it depends.
Derek
on what's
Fisher
going
might be
ahead.
available soon.
Yeah, right. I think it'd depend on what happens. Or like I said, they may be able to package somebody in a deal that they feel comfortable with just to come in and play 10, 15 minutes. Just kind of like I said, patchwork it together. But they got to have someone. I mean, they're going to have to do it by committee for sure.
This is going to be this might be a wild day.
It's going to be a wild day. I just got that feeling, man.
Well, I my whole thing at the beginning of the show was I know something's going to happen. Like I was for sure something was going to happen, but I'll be honest, I didn't think Brook Lopez was going to be. I was thinking like Reggie Jackson for like a trade exception.
The point was,
seriously,
it was talked about earlier, in the year, and kind of speculated, and so now probably was just a work in progress. Sam is a very methodical guy.
All right, so here is a minute and a half of Reggie Jackson.
Oh man.
Here's a minute. This is 90 seconds of good old Reggie Jackson. Here you go. Reggie, take it away.
Your agents asked for a trade? Just anything about that?
Yeah, like I said, mentally just getting ready for tomorrow. I'm not sure about that.
He wouldn't communicate with you?
No, we would communicate.
Do you expect to be here tomorrow night and play in the match?
I expect to live today to the fullest, and if God blesses me, hopefully I wake up tomorrow.
Do you want to be here tomorrow?
I would love to play basketball.
Do you want to be here in Oklahoma City playing for the Thunder?
I love to play basketball.
Something as a no?
You take it as what you want, man. I just want to play basketball to the best of my ability. What's going through my mind is preparing for the Mavericks. That's about it.
Reggie, do you feel like a trade would benefit all parties involved at this point?
I'm not a fortune teller. I don't know. Can't predict down the line what would happen. Just trying to prepare the best ability for the Mavericks. Like I said, if God bless me to wake up tomorrow, I'll be very fortunate and go out there and try to compete.
Has the speculation made this a tougher year for you?
No, not really. I don't really listen good or bad that much anyway. Kind of try to drown you out and just play basketball.
Regardless of what happens if you're somewhere else tomorrow, if you're here, do you feel like a burden will be lifted where you know where you will be for sure the rest of the season?
Yeah, that'd be a good feeling. Once the deadline hits, to know where you're at and just go out there and compete to the best of your ability.
I just want to make sure I have this right. So, your agent requested a trade according to the report, and you said that you don't know anything about that. So, did you not communicate with your agent about that?
No, I've talked to my agent, but I don't know where these reports are from.
I think your agent was on record saying it.
That's what's up.
He finished off with "That's what's up." The faces. Sometimes I wish this were a visual medium. The faces during that 90-second clip from Desmond Mason's face, Todd, were glorious, just glorious. You were the faces were dismissive, pathetic. That's the way I describe your thoughts. Is it right? Am I right?
Man,
You're done with Reggie. Say it.
No, pure honesty. Shooting them straight right now. That is people talking through Reggie. That's not Reggie talking. You can listen and hear, it is him just trying to find ways to deflect every question that's being asked. There's people in his ear telling them you don't say anything.
Yeah.
That's just not how you handle yourself. If it's already out there, obviously, if his agent has requested a trade, they have talked about it, as Reggie said. If that's the case and it's already public, just say yes. We feel like that, our time is possibly up here. We did request a trade. If there's no trade, then I'm in Oklahoma City and I'm going to give them I'm going to play to the best of my ability, since you said that 1,000 times. To me, that's deflecting questions like that, making yourself look stupid. Is ridiculous, because all you're doing is contradicting everything that you're saying. You're not just doing it to you, you're doing it to your agent as well, because your agent is he's on record saying it. Everybody knows it, and you're saying that you talked to him, but you don't know it. To me, that makes no sense, man. That's foolish to do that. Just shoot him straight. Yeah, we're requesting a trade. I was there. I requested to be traded when I was in Milwaukee because they flat out lied to my face, and I asked them to trade me.
Did the media ask you about it?
Yeah, they asked me about it.
And what'd you say?
I told them yes. I said I asked to be traded. And the owner of the Bucks pulled me in a meeting and said, we're not going to trade you, Desmond. This is not what we want, blah, 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 blah. And they still did the trade anyway. And I went public and said, I put it all on the table. I said, I asked them to trade me. They said they wouldn't trade me, and then they still traded me. And this is the life of the NBA. It is what it is. But to me, don't look me in my face, sit me at a table, have me come down to this big meeting and tell me all these beautiful things, and say you're not going to trade me, and then you trade me the next day. If you're Reggie, just say you requested a trade. If they trade you, great. If they don't, I'm going to give them everything I got.
Well, I have a theory, and you tell me whether you tell me whether this theory is right or not. I don't even. Uh-oh. What we got?
According to Chris Broussard, the deal is very close to being done.
Come on now. I love 5-star. I love 5-star.
For Reggie Jackson, Kendrick Perkins, and Perry Jones. Sources say the Nets are one of just a few options OKC is looking at with Reggie Jackson.
Man, that deal's going to be done here in like 30 minutes.
Wow. 5-star breaking in.
Brook
Beautiful.
Lopez, don't come here and get hurt, man. Stay healthy.
See, you want to know? You want to know why I know that 5-star is a good idea? 5-star coming in and hollering at us, because when he did holler, both Des and I at the same time, what we do? Here he comes.
Here we go. We got action.
We got 5-star's juicy. That's what he
Let's
is.
call him Deadline today.
No. See,
like
here's the
5-star.
thing.
Deadline the deadline
We just
cow.
got to keep him the same name.
I like 5-star.
Like,
5-star's
like
good.
look, we don't change your name, Todd, right? Well, actually, we did.
9-year-old.
It used to be Pork. Now it's Todd, right?
Exactly.
So I guess we did.
I missed that.
Yeah,
phase.
well, that was back in the
That's when I worked
Death
at the
Star days.
Radio Hades, I like to call it.
My theory was this, that and tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think I've said this on air, Todd. I've had this theory, and my guess is since yesterday, it comes out that the agent is requesting a trade. The agent makes it public that Reggie's requesting a trade.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
That is what's up. And then, Reggie's like, I'll skip that part. Then PR at the Thunder are like, you know what? Or maybe it's somebody higher up. You know what? If he's going to do this to us, then let him speak to the media.
Yeah.
Go ahead and let him speak to the media. Do you think that's possible to happen?
Your deal now.
Yeah. Your move.
Yep. You made the bed.
You think that could have happened?
Probably not.
No? Okay. Damn it. So that's not what's up?
That's not what's up.
That is not what's up. All right, we come back and, we'll find out what 5-star has to say.
Ooh.
And we'll talk about, you won't believe this, but there's actually basketball tonight. That, and we get started on our brand new, well, I say our as if it's mine, Dez's brand new canvas. Next.
Guess what? My little baby girl loves this song too. Look at Tom bouncing his head. Oh, I bet your rotation.
I got the white man overbite going.
You snap your fingers really loud.
You got that one move. Little shoulder.
Boy, that is a limited move you got.
That is really.
That's it?
Actually, my one move is to lean back. That's all I do. Just
what do you do with your arms?
come back in.
There you
What
go.
the hell was that with your arm?
You have to do that
You gotta
a
have some
little bit.
arm movement.
Well, yeah, but that,
That's
come
like
on.
it's kind of
Nah,
like
put 'em
the
at your
Dante
side. Put 'em at
Culpepper.
your side.
Remember the Dante Culpepper?
Oh, he said put him at your side.
Put him at your side.
No, that looks too sexual.
Can I say
then.
both you guys look garbage dancing right now?
Thank you.
Well, where do you put your arms?
Me? I just put my hands in my pocket.
Oh, come on. You
You
don't
gotta
dance?
be very discreet when you know
Oh,
what I'm saying?
you put your hands in your pocket. Get out of here with
Hey,
that.
listen, my
gonna-
dancing is for
It's
me.
going to sound like a 100% race
not for me to
thing, but
tell.
you're a
It's-
good dancer, aren't you?
I'm a really good dancer.
Yes.
Not with your hands in your damn pocket.
I can
Get outta
dance.
here.
I can dance with my hands in my pocket. Better
Oh,
than
we're getting it.
better than the shoulder pump.
I'm buying
lean
this.
back.
I'm putting it on Vine.
No, I'm
Let
gonna
me see
get
it.
up and
Let me
dance
see
right
it.
now.
Come
No.
on. We'll
you
play
got-
some music.
Yeah, no, I'll do it another time.
All right.
But I'm a good dancer.
All right, so here's the thing, Ty. We're in a kind of a predicament. Usually we spend, the last half of the show, the Desmond Mason Show, powered by Urban Johnny Grill and Bar.
My daddy.
We usually do it like, having some sort of fun, kind of off the basketball beaten path. But today's kind of, got a lot of moving parts here. So we kind of have to stick to basketball. But at the same time, Des brought in his canvas. We got to do it. Like,
Yeah, and we're talking about dancing, too. And for the record, just so you guys know, look, homie, I don't dance. All I do is this. It's the same two-step with a little twist. That's all I do.
You want to put him over there?
Let's see how far I can reach, though.
Well, yeah. Why don't you bring?
Yes, I can.
You think you can bring the canvas right here? You just want to put it right here?
Yeah.
Let's see if you can. If it'll lean up against there. We're having some headphone issues.
I got it.
Can you name that song?
I know
I'm
that
just gonna
shocks you.
put it
Say
in
it
front of
again. Yeah. Do
Look,
that.
homie, I don't dance. All I do is this.
Yeah.
It's the same
That's-
two-step with a little
absolutely.
twist.
Absolutely.
What is that?
People don't dance no more.
That's
All they
50
do is
Club.
dance.
That's or 50 Cent in the club.
Come on, man.
Okay.
You have no idea.
What do you mean? Come on,
People
man.
don't dance. You're right, Desmond.
All they do is this. Nobody dancing
Yeah.
anymore. You know what? Go to a club, a dance club, and jump out on the floor out of nowhere and just bust out some moves and watch what happens.
Well,
You might get tossed out by the bouncers.
you want to hear a story about me?
Yes, I do.
I got tossed out of a club once.
On a torn ACL. That's a true story?
That's a true story.
Oh my gosh, you kidding me?
It's a true story. So I was 100 and some odd pounds heavier than this, right?
Okay.
I had about. Go ahead and start your painting here.
We'll get going.
I'm really revealing myself here. This is a very embarrassing story. So I want you to know, listeners, I love you. Otherwise, I wouldn't tell you this story on air. So anyway.
You made me read 50 Shades. Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Breaking trade news. Barack Obama tweets, trade has an important role to play in supporting good-paying middle-class jobs
my gosh.
in the U.S.
Look,
When Barack Obama's getting in on trade deadline day, it's a big deal.
By the way, are we moving it? Are we making it 4-star now? Is that what we're doing? Or are we making it what's up? I think we're changing the name
what's
of the
up.
cow. What's up?
What's up?
Okay,
up, the
so
cow.
that's what's up,
That's what's up.
everybody.
That's
That's what's up. He's losing credibility with that report, by the way. We don't want what's up. We want what's up to be very credible.
Yes, we do.
What's up?
When anything that says the word trade comes through What's Up's Twitter account, he'll let you know what's up.
Is that what he's done? He's put trade on it. What you hear in the background is Des. What is that tool you have here?
It's this is a palette knife.
Okay.
And I'm painting on wood panel right now, so it's
all
kind
wood
of
here.
loud.
This is beautiful.
Sorry.
That's all right. No, it's part of it.
Yeah.
No, I like it.
Maybe a little loud. In the
So
background.
he is painting right now on a canvas and
Wood panel.
it's a wood panel. I'm sorry, it's not a
Yes,
canvas.
wood panel.
It's just a big piece of wood here, and so we have started with number 2 here.
What kind of wood is it?
Huh? Pine.
Pine?
Pine.
Can you cut me off a square? I'm going to cook a trout on there later.
With the oil paint on it? That should
right.
taste delicious.
Colorful trout. Really a rainbow trout.
Texter wants to know if that trade happens, what happens with Darren Williams? Apparently, Darren Williams is on the bench.
Yeah.
Darren Williams is on the bench, and Reggie Jackson's your starter in Brooklyn. That to me just seems crazy.
It is crazy, all that money.
Crazy to think about. Not just with that, but I feel it would be funny. We live in a world where Reggie Jackson starts in front of Darren Williams. Like, it's just new to me. That's new.
So Reggie Jackson's going to be the guy that throws it to Joe Johnson and never gets it back now.
That's pretty much what's going to happen. Joe, right. Black hole Joe.
And he thought it was tough here in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, let him
getting
shoot
shots.
Let him shoot a shot in Brooklyn and not give it a dog. Watch what happens. Kevin won't say nothing. Russell won't say nothing. Joe Johnson, yeah, you're going to hear that.
And Kevin Garnett will say something, too, if he's still there.
He's going to make him cry like he did Big Baby.
All right, so if you're just joining us, we have changed the name of the cow. He asked for an official name change. It is now What's Up? What's Up? The news breaking? What do we call?
What's Up? The breaking news cow.
You want to make it like that? So we're just this is just going to be an all-encompassing breaking news cow?
I think What's Up is only, he's like the news chopper. He only gets out for the really big stories.
Okay. All right, so there you go.
Recruiting, signing day, trade deadline day, draft day, What's Up will be out, stuff like that.
And what he has reported is that Adrian Wojnarowski and Chris Broussard are reporting that there's a deal that is very, very close to being done between the Thunder and the Nets and maybe some extra teams. But the core of the trade would be gone from Oklahoma City would be, according to these reports, and What's Up? The cow.
That's what's up.
That is what's up. It would be out of Oklahoma City, Reggie Jackson, Kendrick Perkins, Perry Jones, and into Oklahoma City, Brooke Lopez, and maybe someone else?
Maybe Jarrett Jack. Maybe.
How would Jarrett Jack fit in terms of that second team?
That might be. That might be.
Work?
I like Jarrett Jack a lot. Yeah. I like him way back in the Portland days. He's a solid player. I think he'll be really good. He's under control. So I think that could be a really good option.
So that's what we've got right now. That is what we've got here on the Trade Talks. Do you have any other good trade deadline stories? You kind of gave us one about you. Are there any other good ones? There's one I heard once that
I got one about Gary. Well, it was the same trade. In the trade that I was traded from Seattle to Milwaukee. And Gary Payton was part of that trade, and he'd been in Seattle his whole career, so he wasn't very happy. So that night, he invited everybody to come to his house. He was, mad. He was not very happy at all. And Howard Schultz, he's laying in his living room with the TV on watching, and Howard Schultz is on TV with Wally Walker and Rick Sun talking about the trade, Ray Allen, and what he's going to bring to Seattle. And Gary just started launching shoes at the TV.
Really?
He was throwing.
He went reporter at George Bush.
Oh my God, it was so
throwing
good.
shoes,
Throwing shoes at the TV. I thought it was hilarious.
How much alcohol? How much?
He wasn't. Believe me, he was not in the mood to drink anything.
He invited y'all over just so he could throw shoes at the
Well,
television.
he invited by because it was part of the trade, so he was like just really, just wanted somebody to talk to. And I mean, he was just absolutely disgusted with the team. They didn't give him an extension. He had been there his whole career. And they basically just threw him away to Milwaukee. And he hated the East. He hated the cold. So, so we all went over, and it was just kind of like a hangout session. We all leaned on each other's shoulder, but Gary started throwing shoes at the TV.
Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
Not just
Honestly.
a shoe. Not just a shoe. Shoes. How many shoes?
I mean, it was a few. It was both the ones he had on his feet. I don't know if it was like his wife or something. He was launching, he was laying on the couch, back down on the couch, chunking shoes at the TV.
Really?
Pissed. So
That
so
is
mad.
amazing.
So mad.
The only one that I've heard that I thought was fairly funny. I don't know if it lives up to throwing shoes at a TV. We might have to ask Sekou Smith about this from NBA TV. He's going to join us next hour. Is that in Cleveland once you had Wally Zerbiak. I remember Wally Zerbiak. Well, apparently there were reports everywhere he was going to be traded from Cleveland.
Every trade deadline for the last 6 years of his career.
Right. He was going to be traded from Cleveland, traded from Cleveland. So he's in the training room, and the clock is ticking. It's like I guess at 3 o'clock Eastern time, it's 2:57, 2:58. I mean, he's in there for a full hour. And people, while he's in there for this full hour, other players are starting to come in there, and they're like checking it out, like, what's going on? Is anything going on? He's like, I don't know, man. They're just letting this clock tick. And he's got somebody in there with him from the team, like PR, like, they're going to let him know if anything goes down. And he doesn't want to leave. He's dying. He wants to stay. He doesn't want to go, right? So clock's ticking, 2:57, 2:58. He keeps on looking at his PR guy. PR's like, no, nothing. 3 o'clock hits. And he's laying on a table, a training table. And PR guy looks up at him and goes, "You're safe." And he gets up. I guess he's got no shirt on. He's got some shorts on or some spandex or something, but not fully clothed. Anyway, he gets up, starts celebrating. Yeah, gives high fives to people in there in the training room. And then the media is out on the court of the practice facility because practice is about to start. And he's giving high fives in his spandex shorts and nothing else, giving high fives to the media and to other players, and nobody knows why he's giving fives. And that was probably about it. Wally Zerbiak. Could you imagine that?
All right, Zach, tell everyone how you tore your ACL in the club.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right, so here's how it went.
In other words, tell Desmond how you tore your ACL.
Des, here's how it went.
in the club.
So, I'm, look, let's be honest. I had a couple drinks. All right, I'm in this club.
I would hope so. You're at the club. You're supposed to have
I'm in this club, and hey, I had been dancing, right? Like, what's up? Sorry.
You were
to the
dancing
cow.
like the cow?
Sorry to the cow, but yeah. No offense to the cow. But, so I'm dancing, I have a good time. All right, so I get done, song ends or whatever. And I'm walking off the dance floor. This place was a concrete box, truly. And somebody, I guess, had spilled their drink.
Oh, so bad.
And my foot slips backwards. I fall. My knee goes inward towards my other knee while my foot stays out. So, I mean, I hear, I mean, that's what it sounded like. Somebody put a tire or put a nail in a tire. That's what it felt like. That's what to me it sounded like. I'm hurt. Okay, I am hurt. So I'm on the floor, this dance floor though. Here come the bouncers. You're drunk. Time to get out of here. I'm like, I'm telling you, I am not drunk, dude, and you have to be slow with me, dude. I blew up my entire knee. I'm like, no, get out. They're pushing me out the door. And I'm like, dude, I've had I think I had like 2 drinks. I'm serious. I'd had like 2 drinks. I'm like, no, you got to get out of here. Like, dude, I get it, okay? I'm going to leave. I'm leaving because I'm hurt, okay? I'm going to leave. But you got to stop pushing me, dude. I don't know if you saw that or not, but I just blew out my knee. No, come on. So luckily my adrenaline was flowing enough where I'm on my tiptoe, I think I was on my heel. I'm on my heel, and I'm like, just give me a second. I'm going. I get in a cab, but, man, I'm telling you, my buddy knew I was in trouble. He's like, I'm hopping in the cab with you. He hopped in the cab with me, and he had to help me back to my apartment. It wasn't only but maybe 10:30, 10:45 at night. I mean, it wasn't that late.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Anyway, I wake up the next morning.
That's so good.
It's a Sunday morning. I got nothing. Cannot move it. I go in, and they say, well, doctor goes, I think you tore your quad.
Oh.
And but turns out I just blew out the entire knee, had surgery 2 days later, and it had broken off part of my femur bone. When the ligament tore off, it tore off part of the ball of my femur, so I couldn't have. They put a what do they call that? A bone. What do you call it when you try to resurface it? You try bone graft. They put a bone graft on there. They took bone from somewhere else on my leg and put it up on my femur and tried to make a bone graft out of it to grow back. And long story short, because of the bone graft, I actually could not put weight on it for 3 months.
So you just sat around.
I was on crutches. I mean, I went to work like 3 days later, but they all laughed at me because 400-pound guy on crutches doesn't look good. But it was
Calvin on Twitter just tweeted,
terrible.
Zach, you forgot to mention the tranny in that story.
No, that's not true. That is not true.
That's how you told the story to me off the air.
Oh, get out of here. Look, Todd already makes up enough stuff about me. No more.
You said it was me, Greg Anthony.
Michael Phelps.
And Michael Phelps. And we were all hanging out.
No, that's not how it went down.
Yeah, and his girlfriend, Carl.
No, that is not how it went down. That is not how it went down.
Oh, that's a bad story
I hope
for you,
that,
buddy. That's a joke, everybody. That's a joke.
I mean, it's bad enough that I've just embarrassed myself. Well, you guys have embarrassed, and me have all embarrassed myself.
And I can't get up.
Over the last 5 minutes. But if my wife's listening, I mean, God, sorry, honey.
It's a joke, honey.
Sorry, honey.
Sorry about the tranny, honey.
Sorry about Carl.
We'll get What's Up in here, and What's Up will report.
I know I told you about it, but I didn't mean transmission.
Michael Phelps and Greg Anthony. This is gross.
All right. I'm going to tell you, I guess that's going to be it.
Yeah, he's moving
That's about
on.
it for the day.
He's moving.
That's about it for the day.
Moving on.
All right. I've got the first pieces. I believe the first pieces of a trade.
Uh-oh.
And Des, thanks for coming in here.
Absolutely,
Appreciate it.
man.
You can leave whenever or you can stay, doesn't matter. And we will give that all to you next.
You're done. That's not your mother. It's a man, baby. Yeah. Come on.